Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, and Salam Kebajikan. Morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and fellow Jakartans. My name is Rivelno Ramadian Iram Praja, and today I will offer you my speech for today. Now, for this speech, let me tell you something. There's a quote, a saying of sorts, from the man, the myth, the legend himself, Sukarno, Insinyur Sukarno. And it reads, satu buku bisa mengubah cara kamu melihat dunia. Which, when translated into English, means one book can change your entire worldview. And this quote, this saying that Sukarno said, it touched me. And the reason as to why he would say something like that is, one, his living environments, and two, his philosophy, his way of thinking, his mindset. And to explain about these two, let us take a history lesson real quick. Sukarno obviously lived in a time where Indonesia was still under colonial rule. And he had to suffer through things like foreign exploitation and like colonial oppression and like the other usual things that his people had to suffer through day and night all the time for the past 300 years. The slavery, forced relocation, price control, corrupt incentives, and then the poverty on top of all of that. So, yeah, Sukarno didn't like any of it. And it's the reason as to why he essentially paved his way to becoming the first ever president of Indonesia. But he couldn't do it alone, obviously. He went into prison because of that. And he started by reading books. And while reading books, he developed this mindset. A mindset unique to him. He believed that the human spirit is free by nature. I don't mean free as in like you can buy it for free. No, free as in free will. And not just that. Sukarno also believed that the sheer goal on life, like the whole meaning of life as a whole, is to be an individual, to be oneself, to be a somebody, not a nobody. And this makes the aforementioned quote make sense to Sukarno, because the reason as to why he would say something like, oh, reading books could change your entire worldview goes hand in hand as to why reading books is so important in the first place. More specifically, two things. Reading makes you smarter, obviously, and two, reading makes you harder to control. Now, that's enough about Sukarno. What does this have to do with us? Well, we, Gen Z and Gen Alpha specifically, have been blessed to be born into an era of unlimited amounts of possibilities and unlimited amounts of information and knowledge and such by our good old friend the internet. And despite all this, we spend most of our times either doom scrolling on our couches or playing video games till it's midnight. Now, this makes me wonder, we shouldn't be doing this. No. We should be doing better things, more positive things, more productive things in life. And it all starts by reading a good book. We, fellow Jakartans, live in Jakarta, and Jakarta had to go through lots of things till where it's at now, more specifically during the public transportation period. We didn't have just Delmans and minibuses now. No, we also got buses, we got metros, we got trains, we got LRTs, monorails and such. And this is where the second figure of our speech comes into play. The governor of DKI Jakarta. And he found a way to revolutionize MRT, or the metro in this case. He found a way so that you can pay using a credit card. Now, of course, this may seem like much to you, fellow Jakartans and fellow Indonesians who are watching this, but for any foreigners, using a credit card is like heaven to them, because out there in like the real world, most bules or foreigners, they use credit cards. They don't use debit cards like we do. Like we Indonesians use debit card, but they use credit cards. And this gave him lots of publicity. It gave him some respect for the foreigners. So foreigners and tourists alike come flocking into Indonesia because they can go like anywhere they want using the metro, because they can use their credit card and they don't have to waste their time making a whole new card, like a debit card or a money changer and such. Okay, but that's enough about story. That's enough about the governor of DKI. What does this have to do with us? You know, the common folk. We're not governors, but we will be in the future. But what I'm proposing is that it all starts by reading a good book. It all boils down to education. That is our top priority. Even though we got like technology and AI and such, the problem here is that it's gotten a bit too much. There's way too much technology going on around here. Again, we have like AI prompts, chat GPT, and just technology. And like, where's the sensation of like reading and writing on a piece of paper? We should start by learning more about literature, because without literature, we won't be able to read, you know? And again, this is where it boils down to reading a good book. But maybe not just a book. Maybe something a lot more pizzazzy, in a way. This is where the Perpustakaan Keliling comes into play. Now, basically, this is a van. And this is a government-funded project where basically a van that's a library inside comes into school and like gives you all these books so that the children can read, so that all their imaginations go wild and such. And this is such a simple way as to like do these things that the children get educated while not being on their phones. It's a good thing. And like, this is not just for like elementary students or maybe even preschools even. No, this goes all the way to high school too. And this touched me because like it's such a wholesome thing, and like it's even educational, especially during our time where technology is everywhere. And so this gives me hope for the future of Indonesia. You see, our great-grandparents gave us Jakarta. Our grandparents, meanwhile, gave us a Jakarta that survived through a lot, mostly from the colonials. Then our parents, meanwhile, gave us a Jakarta that survived through many other eras, mostly the New Order. And now it's our turn. And now it's our turn to have a Jakarta that gives us a place of belonging. And my proposal to that is to dream big. Dream unreasonably big. Dream the dreams that no other people could dream of. Dream what's best for Jakarta, a utopia of sorts. And it all starts by reading a good book. Because if we do what I told you to do, what I propose to all of you, then we will have a Jakarta with clean air. We will have a Jakarta where crossing the street is not like a boss fight. We will have a Jakarta with like proper public transportation. We will have a Jakarta where we can raise our families here and make fond memories of this city, this country of ours, and basically make Jakarta a place worth staying at. And trust me, no one wants to live in a Jakarta that's worth of belonging more than we do. But with that, ends my speak for today. Thank you all for listening. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.